All right, hello everybody. So today we're talking about unemployment rate, which is topic B. So unemployment is when a portion of the labor force the labor force are people who are able and willing to work. So when a portion of the labor force do not have a job. So Statistics Canada is responsible for measuring unemployment, and they do that with the unemployment rate. So you calculate this by doing the number of unemployed people, so everybody who does not have a job, divided by the labor force, so the people who are able to work but are not working. And then you times it by 100 to get your percentage. So there are benefits to it. So it's meant to be a tool used to measure how well an economy is utilizing its labor force. It doesn't take into account people who aren't actively looking for a job. They're not a part of the labor force. You're not looking for a job. You shouldn't be contributed towards the unemployment rate. And those who are not of age or able to work, if you simply can't work, you shouldn't be contributed towards the unemployment rate because you're not a part of the labor force. All right, and there are cons, however, so it doesn't take into account how long it takes to naturally just find a job, whether you're starting out or you're in between jobs. It doesn't have any wiggle room in between trying to find a job, because that does naturally just take some time. It also misses many groups, such as discouraged workers, people who have been looking for a job for so long and they're just not able to find one. They've given up, they're no longer actively working. Or actively looking for a job, and underemployed workers, people who are working part-time, trying to look for more hours, they're still not being utilized, and they're still a part of the labor force, so it doesn't take that into account. So let's look at an example of where the unemployment rate maybe isn't perfectly demonstrating um, the utilization of the labor force. So we're going to be looking at America in 2008. So the economic recession of 2008 saw nearly 3 million Americans lose their jobs. The unemployment rate in America jumped nearly 4% from 5% early 2008 to 9% in the beginning of 2009. So this was mainly due to the inability to find a new job. People just weren't hiring anymore. Times were tough. And so people just weren't hiring. They couldn't find a job. And it created many discouraged workers who eventually weren't even counted towards the unemployment rate. So the unemployment rate is helpful in measuring the utilization of the labor force, but it really doesn't take into account many economic factors, such as just the simple inability to work. If you're not able to find a job, if it takes time to find them, it's not taking that into account. It's not their fault. They're not choosing not to work. They're just simply not able to.